When I was young, I had a dream of one day becoming a world-famous ballet dancer. Now, having achieved that and danced on some of the greatest stages around the world, I find it absolutely fascinating how many people share that exact same dream. This is an exploration of the emergence of classical ballet in the most unlikely places. I'm traveling the world to talk to people in these countries who are passionate about this art form. Welcome everybody to this special Ballet Rising interview with my very good friend Ahmad Joudeh. Ahmad, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Your story is absolutely incredible. When I first heard about it, I was just floored. You know, I tend to think of myself as somewhat of a brave man, you know, and I think of, you know, my history of when I was a kid, what I had to face becoming a ballet dancer, you know, being made fun of and being ridiculed. And then I heard about your story and what you had to go through, and I just think it's absolutely incredible. So I would just love to talk to you a little bit about where you're from and how you got into dance and what inspired you.
Okay. Well, I was born as a stateless refugee in a refugee camp in Damascus, Syria. And after, like, when I was 8 years old, I saw in a school celebration event, I saw girls dancing ballet. I was there singing with my brother, so that's why I was there. And then after our little performance, I saw the ballet dancers. And since then, I was fascinated. Like, I saw how they are playing the music with their body, not using an instrument. So that first what I liked, and then I started moving with them, and I just wanted to have this feeling all the time, what I felt while moving like them. But like in a place where it is a refugee camp, like it's not that educated. And people there, they are not open to the world, and they are not even open to the city itself. So we all live like in our bubbles. So for them, like ballet is something. What is this? Like even the music for me, like I asked my mom, what kind of music is that? So it was Swan Lake though. So yeah, like these kind of things were like aliens.
Yeah.
But then after a while, when I became 15 years old, I wanted to join the company. The company is in Anna Dance Theater in Damascus. It was a very good company because we had Russian instructors in it. Her name Albina Bilova, and there where I started my ballet education. First year was fine, nobody knew. But the beginning of the second year, I was already on TV.
Wow.
And then that's when my father saw me for the first time, and he knew that I'm having ballet lessons. Yeah. I kept it as a secret because, like, you don't say a ballet dancer in a male version of it. We don't have it like this. Like in our language, like dancer is only female. So, so yeah, that's enough for my father to be ashamed.
Yeah.
Regardless the other things like around the society and stuff. So he was my first enemy, unfortunately.
Wow.
Because he wanted me to stop, and he wanted me to stop, like really stop, violently.
Wow.
So yeah, it was so bad with him. I had to leave the house and like start over. And then when I got to like get my life settled, then the war started in Syria, and that made my life much difficult because as well some of the parts who are fighting in Syria, they are like strict, how to say this, like extremist.
Extremist.
Yeah. And for them as well, ballet is something you should be prohibited for.
Yeah.
So I started receiving all these threats and stuff, like they wanted to cut my head and all these things that they were sending to me on my phone.
And these people knew you, or they had had personal contact with you before?
Yes, I was in So You Think You Can Dance before the war. Well, no, like first year of the war.
Yeah.
So the war was not still in Damascus, it was on the south of Syria.
Yeah.
But I was already well known, and I was like soloist in the company. I did many shows, like and in the Inanna Dance Theater is a very big company in the Arab world. So we were traveling around, and so I was there.
Yeah.
And as well, I was teaching kids ballet. So I worked with SOS children villages, and I worked as well with syndrome Down children.
Wow.
And I worked with like this studio, like private studio where you teach ballet, and so that was my job beside my studies. Yeah. So I was there, and they knew about me. Especially, they knew about me after being on TV many times with the company. And most of the threats there was because I'm teaching kids.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they wanted to kill me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I can't imagine. Like I said, I was made fun of a lot, by other kids. My father didn't really want me to dance in the beginning very much. Fortunately, later for me, he was like, okay, if this is what you really want to do, I support you. But it's already a hard enough life when you have to go through that. But then dealing with a civil war on top of it, and fundamentalists who are just vehemently opposed to any type of dance or art or expression and freedom. It's just something that most people around the world, I think, especially coming from where I come from, can't even imagine.
Yeah, I agree. It is very difficult to prove yourself or to find your place in the family first, in your own house, and then in the school, and then in the society, and then in the ballet class. You know how difficult it is to be seen there, like with all the dancers in the same studio.
Also your own self. Sometimes we're our own self-worth. How do you say that? Our own worst enemy. We look at the mirror when we're constantly judging ourselves, and so you have all these external threats as well as internal struggles. And wow, I mean, So how what really got you through all of that?
The feeling what I have when I'm dancing, like that's what I wanted to fight for. Like for me as a stateless refugee, well, my mother is Syrian, she's from Palmyra. But like the law in the Arab countries, if your mother, let's say, have a nationality, she cannot give you the nationality. You follow only your father.
Oh my God.
And my father is stateless because he followed his father.
Wow.
And his father already a refugee from Palestine in Syria. So they don't have papers, and generations of stateless people.
Yeah, wow.
So for me to exist is something, or to belong, let's say, is something I didn't know how it feels before 2 months ago.
Wow. Jeez. That's incredible.
So only 2 months ago, I've got a nationality for the first time in my life.
And now you're Dutch.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Well, I lived 30 years of my life stateless, and I didn't have a passport. I was not allowed to travel, and only dance got me to travel.
Yeah.
As a dancer, when the company is traveling, they can get you a visa from the government high up or something. Like most of my visas, and the stateless dancers as well, because not only me was in the company. We had many stateless dancers. We always had a special letter from the president of the country, for example, for us to be allowed to enter the country. So this is a very big problem, not only for artists, but for every stateless person.
Global issue.
Yeah. So that's what I was facing as well, beside my father and the war,
and then
together.
Then ISIS comes along.
Yes, and those people, they show up, and they're like crazy killing, and like in Palmyra, like the theater, the Roman theater in Palmyra, there were executed people.
Yeah.
Those ISIS people.
Yeah.
And when I got the chance, well, I had a chance to do Dance or Die documentary.
Yeah.
After I was on So You Think You Can Dance, a Dutch journalist saw this, and he contacted me on Facebook. He came to Syria and he wanted to do a news reportage about me first. It was a news reportage.
Yeah.
And I was already saying goodbye to the family because after 3 months, I would join the army.
Oh, wow.
I graduated and then I had to go to the army and I had only 3 months. And this guy, Rusbek Kapoli, he texted me and I'm like, you don't really want to come here, huh? Like, you don't want to come to Syria. So he said like, but if I'm there, would you work with me? I'm like, yeah, sure. So he came to Syria, he made this reportage. I used the let's say the confirmation or the permission from the government to dance in Palmyra, because it was not allowed. It was under they were fighting with ISIS there, so ISIS were there, and in the Yarmouk camp, which is all destroyed, my neighborhood, I wanted to dance there as well. And I never could make it, but we got the permission because of the news reportage. And then I said, I want to dance there.
Wow.
And he's like, what? You're going to kill us? And I'm like, well, if you want me to rent a studio for you, I can rent a studio. You can film me there. But you asked me, where do you want to dance? And I want to dance there.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Yeah, there's a very famous photo of you for Dance or Die doing a split on the theater.
Yeah.
In Palmyra.
That was a month after they executed people on that theater.
Yes. And I remember you telling me a while ago that during the filming and while you were doing that shoot, you actually heard gunshots and there was fighting in the distance.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Even you hear it in the documentary. If you
wow.
watch the documentary, you hear the gunshots there happening around. That was normal. That was my norm. To dance hearing the gunshots.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's war. Like when you think about Syria, you only think about the war, right?
Now,
like
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, like or refugees or ISIS or this kind of stuff, and then like for me, like when this will stop, it will never stop. Okay, let's show different part of Syria.
Absolutely.
Let's show that we have Ballet there. Hey, I'm here.
There's
and
life,
many
there's
others.
people, there's culture, there's more than just fighting happening there.
Yeah. So that was the goal of the documentary at the beginning when it was a reportage. That's why I did it. But I didn't have any clue that I will get a chance to leave Syria. So after the reportage was there, the Dutch National Ballet, they sent me an invitation. So thanks to them.
Yeah.
So I could come to the Netherlands and I performed with them and it was amazing. For me, it's like a dream. And I started from there. I didn't want just to stay there. I wanted to dance everywhere. Everywhere that I can show Syria has something else, not only war. And so by me being there or just being in a ballet class with I am the only Syrian person or the only Arabian guy in the class sometimes, it gives me such energy. Like, I'm there. Wow. Okay. I have to do it.
Yeah.
You're tired? No. You can rest later. Do it.
And so do you see yourself as sort of an ambassador, a cultural ambassador of Syria?
I didn't want to see myself this way. I don't hate that I am this way. So it was not my goal. My goal was just to stay alive. And then coming to the Netherlands with all the culture shock.
Yeah.
Man, that is the worst that can happen to any person.
I remember when I moved here, I was already a 30-year-old man, and I'm from the United States. The Netherlands and the United States were very similar. The cultural differences are not that great, but even that was quite difficult for me. Another level of me just looking at you going, wow.
Yeah. Like different language, different behaviors, different culture.
Yeah. In every way.
Everything. Yeah. Like I was like if I was just born now. I forgot everything. I forgot many things about how I lived before. really, I did forget. And I was just like observing all those images around me. They were painful to my brain.
Yeah.
Like, I got lost many times in the streets. I would feel so shy and embarrassed to ask.
Well, this is a very confusing city too.
Yeah, that's true, with all the circles and like the neck and stretches.
I have a very good sense of direction, and I got lost in this city quite a few times.
It was so scary. Yeah, it was so scary. But yeah, I could move on.
Yeah, but you seemed so. When I first saw you, I had just heard, there's a Syrian guy. He just came here. He's got this project, Dance or Die, and I heard a little bit about it. And I thought, well, that's fascinating. And then I saw you on the stage during Coppelia with the National Ballet, and I met you and I talked to you for a minute, and it seemed like everything was quite normal for you. You seemed to sort of just adapt to it very quickly, but inside you were going, whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
I was performing.
Yeah. But not just on the stage.
No, I was performing 24 hours per day.
Yeah.
Yes, you keep what you feel for you,
inside.
And then what you show as a choreography.
Did that take a toll on you? Was that,
Yes.
It must have been exhausting.
Yeah, it was exhausting. It was very difficult and exhausting. It took me like 3 years and a half exactly since I moved from Syria, out of Syria, to understand where I am. 3 years and a half to understand what is this around me? What do I want? What am I doing here? So all of those years, I was working and I was performing and I did great things that I would didn't dare to dream about them. But I was not there fully. I was lost in between Syria and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So I don't belong there and I don't belong here. Where do I belong? So yeah, that was really heavy, but it took 3 years and a half, but then I worked on it and I went to therapy as well to do all the problems with the war and all of these things, to not get myself lost in things that can distract what you really feel.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stay on my track.
Focused.
Focused, and I wanted to work. I am taking care of my family. I am international friend for SOS Children Villages, and I love this. Like, I'm supporting SOS internationally, and that is something I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be there for those kids, or for my family, or for myself. So I worked on myself. I did my therapy. It took me 1 year. Of learning many things. Yeah. But now I feel I am fully here and I feel so powerful and strong, and it even now shows to me, of course, in my dance classes. Like, I feel more comfortable. I feel I'm here all the time. I know what my body can do and I enjoy it. I try to improve myself. Of course, that's what we always do. But I stopped comparing and I stopped pushing, and I just accepted myself the way I am, and this is how I live with it. Even in dancing, even in daily life, that is really good.
It means a lot too. When I know that when I wasn't, the few times that I had some issues in my life, when things weren't right up here, it showed in my dancing too.
Yeah.
The injuries. The few times I had injuries in my career were the times when I was feeling depressed and things just up here weren't working. So you have to be right up here before the dancing can really, or vice versa. I'm wondering sometimes, do you think dancing helped you get things straight up here as well?
Of course.
It had the reverse effect.
Yeah, of course. Dancing helped me to stay alive.
Well, yeah.
After
you came to the Netherlands.
Yes, I like now when anything happens with me, I just go to the studio and I improvise, I get it out, and I dance it out. I dance it all out. So whatever happens, like if I'm sad, if I'm happy, if I'm stuck in my mind with a decision, for example, I just go and dance it. After I'm tired and you lay on the floor, you're like,
Yeah, and suddenly things click and they make
Then
sense.
you get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know of quite a few people like that, like Merritt Moore. She's a scientist. She graduated top of her class at Harvard and Oxford. And she was the same, you know, she was studying and studying and studying, and she thought for a while, I'm going to set the ballet aside so that I can focus on my studying, and she couldn't study very well.
Yeah.
So she went back to ballet, and suddenly her studying went up again. It's amazing what dance does for the body and how it reflects up here as well.
Yeah, it was the best therapy I've ever had. Like, if I was always comparing the therapy I had with the EMDR, like I'm saying it in Dutch, I don't know, EMDR, like EMDR or something like this.
Yeah, MDR.
Like this thing.
Yeah.
This thing, this very scary thing. So what was happening with this thing was as well happening with me while I'm dancing.
Yeah.
So the movement, it got me back to some, I said it even in my documentary, and recently I noticed what I'm saying. The documentary was filmed like, I think 3.5 years ago or 4 years ago. And recently I understood what I was saying after the therapy.
Yeah.
So I was saying that I smell things. I smell burnt things while I'm dancing. And so it was like, for me, the movement with the dancing, it got me back to my mind, to the traumas, let's say.
Yeah.
And it was fixing it without me knowing this. So I connected those together with the therapy, and then I found out that, well, I always knew, but when you look at it from a professional scientific side, I found out that dance can be a very good therapy as well.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky I had it.
Yeah. That does remind me, there's a choreographer in the United States, Fran Baca, I think I'm saying his name correctly. He was a veteran in the U.S. military. I think he had served in either Iraq or Afghanistan, I'm not sure. But he's using dance as a means of treating PTSD for soldiers returning from war.
It works.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, it works.
I mean, for me as well. I mean, I never experienced anything as traumatic as that, but, you know, obviously there was trauma in my life here and there, and that was the same for me. Dance was a way to sort of escape from all of that, you know. Dance, I wanted to get away from my home and just be myself and get away, and I think, it did a lot for my psyche as well. I was a very introverted little kid. I had a lot of issues communicating with other kids, and it was dance that really helped me open up. And now I'm here today doing interviews with famous dancers. And
well, that's what I do with the kids in SOS, actually.
Fantastic.
Like, I give dance workshops, and I try to help with the dancing to let them speak up or to let them present themselves, to be there. And you know what dance can give you. Yeah. Like, you have confidence more when you're dancing, right? Like, you know who you are, you know how you're standing, for example, or how you're presenting yourself. So that's what I do it, like, let's say practically with the dance workshops. And as well, I dance and I organized as well, like, shows with other dancers where the benefits were going to the SOS. And with my book too. Like, my book, I wrote my book, Dance or Die. The first one is in Italian, so it has been there for 3 years now. And it was as well connected to the SOS. And now I'm publishing in the US in September, half September, something like this. Yeah, the English version.
Cool, good. I'm looking forward to reading that.
I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put there, like, the details of the story. I put there, like, how statelessness is and how is it effective to people and to artists. And I as well put in the book, like, my experience as well as how you can see the world or how you can see the war through a ballet dancer eyes.
Wow.
What a ballet dancer in Syria faces during the war.
Yeah, wow.
Something like this.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for my book, and I'm curious how will it do.
I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure a lot of people, you know, from outside the dance world, because it's such an interesting window into the psyche, into just the human psyche of how we deal with adversity. And I think that sort of translates beyond the culture of dance. It just goes into everything. So I think it'll be really interesting. I'm really excited to read it.
Yes,
And you're also an ambassador for the What Dance Can Do project.
Yes.
I spoke to Aurelia just recently, did an interview with her. It was really fun, and she was talking about you. Yeah, it was really cool. It's a really great project.
Yes, I love this project as well. It helps kids. Like we go as ambassadors. Like for example, Eleanor, she went to Africa.
Yeah.
She went to Morocco, Algeria or Morocco. So they're there, and they're doing things for kids. I am as well helping. Like I performed for them, and I did speech as well for them. As much as I can, but it is a great project that I love, and I love everything supports kids. So because as a kid, for me, I had a really difficult life.
Yeah.
I was loved by my family before I am a dancer, before I become a dancer. After I became a dancer, everything was changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So that's why I support kids to be themselves and to choose what they want to be. And I help them to decide or to say what they want. Like, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be yourself, go after your goals. Don't let these things stop you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's extremely important. I mean, for everyone around the world. I mean, this is another one that goes even beyond dance. I mean, these are extremely important things for everyone.
That's true, but not everybody is aware of this. Like here in Europe or in different countries than where I came from, people think things. They take things for granted. They don't understand how lucky they are, and they don't understand how safe and how free they are.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody of that. I remember thinking as a kid, oh, this sucks, this is bad. I feel like I'm out in the desert.
Yeah.
I grew up in the safest city in the world.
Yeah, so
I mean, by standards of Salt Lake City, I was quite poor, and we lived on government assistance. But I didn't know at the time that what real adversity was. Now that I'm a bit older, I'm looking at my childhood and thinking, wow, I was blessed.
Yeah.
Extremely blessed.
Yeah, opportunities are there, but they're not divided equally. Like, if you look for it, like somebody like me, they think in where I came from, they think I'm super lucky. Like, yeah, it's his luck. But they don't see what I work every day on myself. Like, with the ballet classes, with finding your place in certain society or in certain environment. So finding your place a thing, and taking your place is another thing.
Yeah.
So that's like those kind of things, they're really difficult. They need strength, they need power, they need focus.
Support.
Yeah, that's true. But if it's starting from yourself, if you don't have the urge to take your place, right? Yeah. Nobody will take it for you. Nobody will give it to you.
Yeah.
So I hope in my country, or I cannot say my country, unfortunately. I'm not Syrian officially. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
to think about.
Officially, I'm not Syrian, and I'm not even Arab for them.
Yeah, wow.
I'm just stateless person.
Yeah.
But here I'm Dutch. So I don't know now, what is my country? What to say? What is my country? But yeah, back in Syria, I wish that they are now realizing. They are realizing what is ballet. Like, before on my time, I'm only 30 years old, I swear.
You speak like somebody much older. But you've been through so much in just those 30 years. It's amazing.
I share it with my friends, for example, when somebody, like for example, Netflix or PlayStation thing or these kind of stuff.
Those things.
Like I share with them, like, hey, I don't know this stuff. You know why? Because the war started when I'm 21. So since I was 21 till now, I was cut out of these kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My house was bombed. Everything I had there is gone. Like we were burying one of the members of our family every period of time. So 5 of them were gone, like during the war. And everything I had was gone. I only had my clothes. We were just in the survival mood for all the time.
Yeah.
Like even recently, I was still in the survival mood. I came here, but I was not here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I couldn't follow up with this kind of stuff. That's why I think when I say on my time, you know, when I was there.
I mean, I do the same thing. I'm a bit older than you, but I'm still, you know, it's like when I tell people I'm retired, I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
I'm retired from ballet.
Yeah, from ballet. So yeah, now I feel old in ballet. Yes. But that's normal. Like now in Syria, like talking about the dance in Syria, let's say, right? Like now there are some ballet dancers rising.
Yeah.
In Damascus, and there is one of them a stateless as well.
Yeah.
His name Carmel Suleiman. He came to my classes when I was giving those private classes. So he used to come to my class. He was like such a little kid with the kids, and he was talented. Like I was really taking care of him. And then I left the country, and I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
And like I think a year ago, I was just on Facebook, and I've seen a beautiful dancer, and I'm like, who's this? And I looked him up, and that's Carmel, and I was like, wow, hey, you grew up. You've grown.
He's grown, and he's become a really nice dancer.
Yeah,
He recently won an award, right?
Yes. So I presented him to Ballet Beyond Borders in Montana.
Yeah.
And because of Corona, he could participate. Which now, like this year, it was the competition was on like by videos.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to there to do the competition. And he sent his video,
Yeah.
and he got a medal,
Yeah.
the golden one, like a first class medal. I was like so proud of him.
Yeah.
He's doing great, and he gives me hope now. Like I know I am example for them to give them hope, but he gives me hope in return.
Yeah.
Like to see somebody like this in Damascus, like I'm so happy. Like I cannot wait to go back to see him and to see those dancers and to share my experience with them. So I'm really trying to find out legally if I can go back.
Well, now you're a Dutch
I need a
citizen.
visa now to go to Syria, you know? so something like this. So we're finding out with the army as well.
Yeah.
And if it's safe enough for me to go, because I really want to go. I want to share all the experience I've got with those dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it must be amazing to see that there is hope, there's life.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I can tell, I only know from what I see on the news, things have stabilized at least a little bit in Syria.
Yeah,
right?
it's just now the economical crisis, because after the war, you know, every country will
Of course. There's things are
go through
things are
this.
shattered.
It is quite like difficult. It's really difficult. Like people are really hungry, and that is so frustrating.
Yeah. But there's there's a theater, there's dancers, there seems to be some type of return to normalcy.
It was always there.
Yeah.
Like life was always there. Like I had experience where like some bumps will be just close to me, and I would keep going to my class and keep going to my work. Everybody was going to work. If you die, you die. So life has never stopped in Syria.
Yeah, I think that's sort of a perspective that we have outside, because we see, we only see what we see on CNN.
That's
and it's
true.
like, oh, it looks like life is over. Everybody's just tucked down and waiting out the war. But no, you continued to dance, you continued to
survived
dream,
many
you continued
times.
to,
I survived many bombs.
Yeah, wow.
Many bombs. And I was always asking myself, like, how? Why? How come? Like once my hair was burned by something went like this. I don't know if it's a bullet or something.
Jeez.
I swear.
Wow.
I was shocked like for an hour, just like this, like Mom, why? Like, yeah, don't want to talk about this. It's a lot, but hey, it's a war, and now life is coming back. I wish I can go and see that life is going on safely, because it was always going on, but not safe. But now I want to see it safe.
Yeah.
I want to see ballet dancers. I want to see a company there. Like I want to see this.
Yeah.
I see on social media that people are proud of the new dancers that they are rising, and they are sharing, And sometimes they share my videos, and for me it's like a little ticklish feeling, you know, like so sweet, you know. Like even with the Emmy Award, like I think this is something huge. Like the Dance or Die documentary got an Emmy Award.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah.
'Cause that was, I see things on Facebook all the time. I'm like, oh, something amazing happened to Ahmad.
Yes,
Another amazing
always,
thing. Yeah,
always.
how did that come about?
Well, it's
And how was it to be
amazing.
there?
Well, I went there with a travel document for stateless refugees.
Yeah, because it was in New York or
Yeah.
in New York. So you got to go to New York City.
I got to go to New York with, my name is Ahmad and I am from Syria and I don't have a passport, and I got to New York.
Nice.
While Trump was there.
I have a hard time getting into my country.
So how about that?
Good for you.
And 3 years visa.
Nice.
Not only once.
Great.
So see what dance can do?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I got there. It was, wow, it was amazing. That's one of the dreams that I never dared to dream,
Yeah.
to be in the US.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got the Emmy, and that was as well something like, wow. Well, if Trump allowed me to come in, I think I'm gonna get the Emmy. So I was like, I told the director, we're getting it, don't worry.
Yeah. I mean, you've broken so many barriers throughout your life. I mean, what more barriers can you break? What's coming next?
Well, next, I don't know what's coming next, but what I know, what I have now, I have the power of belief. And I believe I can break any barrier.
I believe you can.
Yeah. If this power of belief is still there, if hope's still there, like what I always had in my heart is hope only. And that's what I lived for. That's why I learned English in Syria. They were making fun of me. Do you really want to speak English? Like something like this. And I'm like, I will be international dancer and I will need it. And like, oh, live for that.
You have such an incredible foresight to
I just felt it.
Yeah.
And I learned it, and I was always thinking that one day this is happening. So I have to be ready for it. And that's how I do it. I just keep myself ready for the best to come. And I never give up. I buried one of my uncles and I went to the ballet class after.
Wow.
I was in So I Think You Can Dance. I was performing. I was like, if I'm performing tomorrow, my uncle died today as well. One of them too, because I have 5 gone.
Wow. Jeez.
So something like this, like whatever happened to me, around me, it's around me. So the war was happening, the war is around me. It's not inside me. What inside me was always hope, power, strength, focus, all the time. And I think that's what's keeping me going. Like nowadays, I'm still facing some challenges as well.
You still have threats.
Now, no.
No?
Thanks God stopped, I think, a year ago.
Okay.
Because now I know how to deal with it. I don't do Arabian media.
Oh yeah.
I don't tell my story in Arabic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so that has sort of calmed everything down.
Unfortunately.
Wow, that's
I
really
had to
sad.
really block all, like you don't hear my story in Arabic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah. I've done it only twice, and the twice I've done it, I had all the threats, and I had even people tried. Even I had like this. I was busy with, Ted knows about it, I was busy here for a month with the police for the threats I received.
Oh my God.
I was not able to go to the theater because what if they come and bomb in the theater?
Oh my gosh, wow.
So, it's not only about me now. So I have to be very, very careful. So that's why I blocked all the Arabian media. Recently, I've done only one, but I don't talk about dance. If I'm there in the media, I talk about different things. I talk about my engagements with the SOS children villages. I talk about as a writer for my book or as an artist sharing culture. You play with words and then you can deal with this.
Yeah, so you have to be very tactful about how you say
very careful.
Yeah. Wow.
And I would have nightmares. Like I had this interview once with like very important presenters. She's like Oprah, for example, but then for the Arab world. And I swear, the night I had the interview, I had nightmare for 3 nights in a row.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
I was talking to my mom, like, I'm expecting all of this wave of threats and stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, no, just let's see what's gonna do. And luckily now they see me differently. So basically, they presented me in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, so that works.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that that's sort of subsided.
What do they want more than that? Like Emmy Award, dancing with Roberto Bolle, dancing in the most important theaters in Europe and in America. What do they want? To respect me.
Yeah. I mean, you've accomplished so much. There's another, I mean, I keep reverting back to myself. I'm an accomplished dancer. You know, I was a principal dancer with many top ballet companies, and I don't think I've even come close to what you've done.
Well, I think everybody has his own challenge. You know, like you have your own war, you have your own challenge.
We have our own paths.
Yeah.
I mean,
and everyone in this world has a challenge. No one is safe from that challenge.
Of course, yeah.
It just depends how you live it.
And without challenges, what would we be? You know, if everything on the planet came easy, you know, who would you be? What would you be? You know, you can't, you'd be a soulless person, I think. So yeah, I mean, we're defined by our challenges, how we deal with those challenges. But I mean, obviously, I think how you've dealt with your challenges and they're some pretty immense challenges is I think the only word I keep coming up with is inspiring.
Thank you.
It's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so is there anything, this is the moment in all of my interviews where I just ask people to say, is there anything you would just love to say to the world? Anything off the top of your head you just want to get out to the world right now?
Oh, many things.
Oh, go for it. Please do, I think.
Well, yeah, I think like the most important thing that we should know, like the opposite of war is not peace, it's creation. Yes, that's what I believe. Like, and now during Corona, what I see that governments, they are stopping creation. Like they are supporting, for example, airplanes and airports and stuff, but not supporting theaters. Like, really?
Yeah, there's that meme with the airplane, and they put like bleachers in the back of the airplane so that you can hold performances.
like really? You're stopping culture and art and keeping economy, for example, with things that make more money, you keep it going. What about us?
Yeah.
Like, what about us? Like, I left my family in my country and came here because I want to improve myself, and then there theaters are working now, and here it's not working. Like, what shall I do now? Go back? I need a visa to go back.
That's amazing.
Right?
That's a really interesting thought experiment.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, I don't see support for dancers in the Netherlands. I'm sorry. I must say this. If you're not in the National Ballet as a ballet dancer, you don't have that support. Like, we have this Hani Yunus Studios, and I'm so thankful we have it and still going on, where you teach me as well. Yeah. So I feel lucky that we have it, but still, like, no one is working. Yeah. We have to pay 10 euros per class, and we have to take class every day, and we're not working. What do we do? Yeah, I mean, it's... Right? It's quite shocking. I mean, yeah, in the United States, we always had this vision of Europe as being this, you know, mecca of art and culture. And in some ways it is, but in many ways it sort of seems to be very, I don't know, it's very much lacking in many ways. It is challenging in a different way. Yeah. Like in Syria, for example, I had all my education for free. For free. Education and healthcare. Wow. For example. Here, no. Yeah, well, but like, it's a different challenge, right? Don't talk to an American about that. Free healthcare? No, never. Oh, okay. Why would we do that? Yeah. So I'm really sad of what like we are going through right now with this pandemic. We are taking like now I'm gonna dance in Eurovision. Like, I have my own show, and that's gonna be great and amazing. And when is that? It's in 20th of May. Great. Yeah, great. I am very lucky. This is a huge thing as well that's gonna happen. So yeah. But like, for example, every rehearsal we have to do corona test, right? So we're taking care. We're negative.
Yeah.
Can we have more support as ballet dancers, as freelance professionals?
Yeah.
Can we have support from the Dutch government? If I want to say something, I want to say this. And for the world, support your dancers, because the dancer is like the soldier. We fight for culture, we fight for art, and the soldier fight for peace or for safety or for the country. So we have the same duty. We have to be supported too, not only the army.
Yeah. Well, there was a very famous saying, I think it was Winston Churchill during the Second World War, when the British government came to Winston and they said, we need to cut funding for the arts to put more money towards the war. And Winston Churchill said, hell no, what are we fighting for?
Yeah. If we don't have culture and art, what are we fighting for?
If we don't have expression, if we don't have freedom of expression for people to really live life, what are we fighting for?
Yeah.
If all we're doing is just fighting, then...
Yeah. For what?
For what?
For what?
Yeah.
Like if you wanna prepare a ballet dancer, professional ballet dancer, how many years do you need to teach a professional ballet dancer? Right?
Quite a lot.
And how many days you need to teach somebody to shoot? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you better show up with your ballet company, not your army.
Wow, Ahmad. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about this interview and I'm thinking, God, there's just been one-liner after one-liner, just amazing quotes from you about life and about expression and about people, about humanity. So, I mean, this has been such a privilege and an honor to talk to you here today.
Thank you, for me too. Thank you.
And yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
and
you.
I really look forward to seeing how things progress and talking to you more in the future.
Yes. Thank you very much. I wish you a good luck, and I'm here if you need me.
Cool. Thank you so much.